Good evening. I'd like to call the January Park Board meeting to order. Madam Secretary, call the roll, please.
Edwards,
Here.
Bauman,
Here.
Rhodes,
Here.
Sharp,
Here.
Nelson.
Here.
Okay. Do I announce the others? I don't need to announce the others, do I? No? Okay. So at this moment, I'd like to ask you to stand. We have Delane Taylor from Bethel Community Church to give the invocation, followed by the flag salute.
Good evening, everyone. If you would, please pray with me. God, this evening, first and foremost, I want to thank you for living in a city where we still allow prayer. And God, I pray over this committee tonight. I pray over all those in attendance, God, that your wisdom will be with them. God, I pray over our city. I pray over that Yukon would be led by you and protected by you. And God, I pray that you just give us this, God. Give us this time to honor you through all of it. And God, again, we thank you for the beautiful parks and rec areas that we have in this town. And we pray that your blessings will always be with us. And it's in your holy and most precious name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we'll get that order down next time. All right. At this time, we're section 5, the visitors, special guests, and public comments. Anyone having an item of business to present to the park board that does not appear on the agenda, please come to the podium at this time and state your name and address. You're requested to limit your presentation to 3 minutes. Any item being presented must pertain to City of Yukon business. Do we have any public comments? No visitors or public comments at the time. We'll move on. Item 6, approval of the minutes from December 18th, 2024. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Nelson?
It does not show me on the roll call as being present. I was late, but I was present for the meeting.
Okay. All right. Anything else? Are we okay to amend that? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item 7, Park and Rec Department report and project updates. Our director, Ryan, will give that.
All right. Well, as always, it's a busy time in Parks and Recreation here in Yukon. Certainly wouldn't want to have it any other way than busy and serving our community in that way. We're in the process right now of planning and completing a lot of facility projects, a lot of park projects. We also just finished Christmas in the park a couple weeks ago, and we are full steam ahead with our winter and spring program season right now as well. So I'll dive into some of the details on all of that as we get going here. Starting off with some projects. We have a total of approximately 30 projects that we're going to be completing in the next 6 months to 1 year, with the bulk of those being completed within the next 6 months. Some of those are on the smaller end, and as you guys know, some of those are on the larger end. So there's 30 of them, so I'm not going to mention all of them, but I want to highlight a few of those. And then if you guys have any questions on any of those projects or any additional projects we've discussed previously, feel free to jump in and ask those questions. The first one I'll talk about is Hillcrest Playground and give you an update on where we are with that. So we put together some quote specifications on what specifically we wanted in that playground there at Hillcrest Park, and sent those out to several local playground companies and set a deadline to receive those quotes, and we've received all those back, and the deadline is passed. So we began reviewing those quotes and looking through those, making sure they met the requirements that we set on those, and we should be making a decision early on next week. We are finishing the calling of references right now, and then we should be able to make a decision hopefully earlier on next week, and then be able to reach out and let everyone know about that. I did want to mention some of the pieces of equipment that were included in that project. I believe that was a question last time, so wanted to touch on that. So some things that are included, a set of regular monkey bars as well as a set of junior monkey bars, several different types of swings. We're going to have tire swings, belt swings, toddler bucket swings, as well as bench swings. We'll also have triple horizontal gymnast bars, tetherball sets, trapeze style rings, as well as a home base, which will be out there for kids to be able to use as home base for playing tag or different games that kids play. We also made sure that all of these companies were aware we wanted this to be ADA compliant, to make sure it had a sidewalk and then a ramp that gets people up into the play area. So that was a requirement, as well as safe playground surfacing and playground border as well. We also asked that all companies follow ASTM playground standards, which are the industry standard for playgrounds as far as surfacing, as far as the use zones and the spacing around equipment, as well as the pole heights and several other different requirements as well. So we've made sure that they're going to meet those requirements as well. So we look forward to moving forward with that. Like I said, hopefully next week we'll have that decision and be able to move forward with that company and get that playground going out there at Hillcrest.
Could we see a rendering of that sometime?
Absolutely. Yep, I can send that out to you guys and let you know what that's going to look like.
I have a quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
At one time, there was a budget set aside for that came out of Parks and Rec budget.
Correct.
And then it was decided by the city council that would be paid for out of interest. What happened to that money that was on that budget? I want to make sure that you guys don't lose that so that we can continue to create more Parks and Rec opportunities for our citizens.
Sure. That's still a discussion that's ongoing. So I don't have a final answer for you on that, but I hope once we get this project going, we'll have a definite answer on that. Yeah. Any other questions on Hillcrest? Moving along, I've mentioned at least the last meeting a project we've got going on at Jackie Cooper. So we're moving along with that. As I've mentioned, we moved the desk location there at Jackie Cooper. Now we're starting on the program room with painting the walls, decorating, and then adding the flooring in there as well. So that project's going well. Brian is working with Patrick, our facility manager over there, to get the flooring and the painting going on that. So I anticipate at the next meeting we should have a completed project at that time and be able to show you some pictures of that. Some other upcoming projects. Obviously, we are nearing the spring season, so softball season will be coming up. So we are in the process of using some of our capital money at Sunrise Park, where our softball league takes place. So we'll be replacing bleachers out there, the benches in the dugouts. We're going to be fixing some of the lighting out there that was not working. Some field work, and then possibly some fencing work, depending on where we are in the budget at that point in time. So we're moving right ahead. Our softball season starts in mid-March, so we're going strong on that, and we'll have that ready to go for the softball season.
So will they be able to utilize both of the big fields this year?
Most likely it will just be the one field. We're going to focus on that field first, continue to grow the league, and then the plan is to work on the second field after that. But the focus will be on the field that we worked on last year to start out. Moving along down the list here, we are going to be adding some new signage at the DRC in the library. So we're going through the design process of that and gathering quotes for that, and that's in the works. We are also, as I've mentioned, going to be painting pickleball lines at Jackie Cooper. So we are in kind of the agreement stage of that, where we're working on the agreement, sending it to the company, and then arranging a time that doesn't interrupt with any of our major programming over there, and then setting aside several days to be able to paint and let that dry without people being on the court. So working through that process, and the goal is to have that done before our pickleball part of the Yukon Senior Games in April. So we're going to have that done here in the next couple of months. Chisholm Trail Park, we have some irrigation that is already out there that we use out there that keeps some of the areas green out there over the summer. We're going to be expanding that. We have around $22,000 in our capital improvement budget for that. So we've got a design that we've put together on where we're going to put that at, and then we're going to get our quotes and get going on that as well. And then the last project I'll mention is kind of an upgrade to our Ranchwood Park pedestrian bridge there that crosses over the ditch there and goes out onto the Ranchwood soccer fields there. So our goal is to have that completed by soccer season. And so we've got our 3 quotes and selected our quote, and we'll be able to move forward on that. And that project should move pretty quickly. Anyone have any questions on any of those projects or any that I didn't mention that I have previously? All right, moving on down the list here. I wanted to talk about some of the athletics programs that we're offering right now. The biggest offering that we have right now is in basketball, with it being the winter season. So we have our youth basketball league going on at Jackie Cooper Gym. That takes place every Saturday. That's part of the Northwest Basketball Association. This year we have 47 teams and 470 participants in that. Yukon teams play both here in Yukon as well as in 4 surrounding cities as part of that. So we have a lot of people from out of town that come to our facility and participate in that as well. And then excited to tell you about a new basketball program that started last week. We were looking at an opportunity to have a basketball program for some younger kids. So we have the older kids participating in the youth league, but this one is for ages 4 to 6. So it is called the Little Dribblers Basketball League. It's taking place at the Yukon Community Center, and it'll take place for the next 6 weeks. So the way that's designed, they'll come in on a Saturday morning, they'll have a 30-minute practice with their coach, followed by a 30-minute game, and so that gives them the opportunity to kind of get all that done in one day and not have to go to a practice midweek with busy families and that sort of thing. So I know that's preferred by a lot of parents. So really excited about that. It's really a league that's focused more so on fundamentals, learning the game, teamwork, that sort of thing, and is not considered a competitive league. It's really just introducing them to basketball, and then hopefully they'll get involved in the older league after that.
Yeah, good luck keeping that age group's attention for an hour. It'll be fun, though.
Yeah, and that's a challenge. I'm glad I'm not the coach out there, but we have some very talented coaches I know that are very good with that age group, and we'll keep them busy for sure.
Ryan,
Yes.
on the 470 participants in the basketball program, those are just Yukon participants.
Is that correct, Brian? Yes, that's correct.
And then, but the league is much larger, and there are teams that come in and play.
Correct. From
Are-
5 different cities, from El Reno, Piedmont, Tuttle, and Mustang as well, correct?
Okay. That's awesome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. As I mentioned, softball season starts in mid-March, so we're taking registrations for that now and looking to grow on the first season back last year. Obviously, at that same time, we'll get started with youth baseball and t-ball. That actually starts in late February, early March, getting going on that. We also have indoor soccer that will start at Jackie Cooper in early April. We'll have a tennis camp over spring break at the YCC. And then also wanted to mention kind of some open play opportunities to where people can just show up when that activity is going on and jump right in and participate. So we have open pickleball Monday through Thursday mornings at Jackie Cooper Gym from 9 to noon, and we have a good crowd turnout for that. Also at Jackie Cooper Gym, we have open badminton. So if you never tried badminton, which I'm sure a lot of people haven't, it's a fun sport to get involved in. Right now it's taking place on Wednesday evenings in January and February. And then after the youth basketball league ends, it'll shift to Thursday evenings and Saturday mornings at Jackie Cooper. And so we have a good following there for badminton. And then lastly, on the athletics front, volleyball, we have open adult volleyball on Monday evenings at Jackie Cooper for anyone that wants to get involved. That's for adults 18 plus at Jackie Cooper. And then a new program we're going to be offering in the spring, starting in April, is an outdoor grass volleyball league in City Park. So we've had some people express some interest in that, and so we're excited to do that. That'll actually take place on where the former flag football field was there in City Park. So we'll get to utilize that area and hopefully get a new well-attended program going on there at City Park. Any questions about athletics? All right, moving on to special events. We completed several events since our last meeting. First one I'll talk about is Sounds of the Season. We had the Oklahoma Metropolitan Orchestra out for the event this year and had a great turnout. We had a little over 1,600 tickets that were documented for that event, so that was exciting to see that good crowd out there. And we received a lot of good compliments about the sing-along, kind of the well-known Christmas music that was played, along with some of the stuff that they came up with on their own as an orchestra. So Zachary Daniels and his group did a really good job, and I know we received a lot of compliments on that. The Hoops and Hustle Skills Challenge, this was the event I was telling you guys about. That is an expansion of the free throw competition at Jackie Cooper Gym that has been going on for many years. So in addition to that free throw contest, that included a vertical jump competition as well as a lane agility test. And I know the kids that came out for that really enjoyed the expansion of it and getting involved in different ways for that. So we had over 50 that came out and participated in that, a variety of different age groups. And the last one I'm excited to tell you about is Christmas in the Park, which we obviously finished up about 2 weeks ago. I wanted to share some numbers with you on that. And just so you're kind of aware, there was 5 less days of Christmas in the Park this year as compared to last year. So I'll talk about the average per night so that you can kind of tell per night and use a comparison that way. I'll start with train riders. In 2024, we had just under 22,000 train riders. That's an average of 560 riding our trains each night through the park. So that's a great number. Also have some counts on just the number of cars that have gone through the park. So I'll mention, the 3-park system there. We have City Park, Chisholm Trail, and then Freedom Trail are kind of the 3 park systems we have through there. Starting with Freedom Trail, number of cars this year, we had 19,500, which is an average of 500 a night. Chisholm Trail had just under 43,000 cars come through Chisholm Trail. That's an average of 1,093 per night. And then City Park had 38,500 cars come through, which is just under 1,000 cars per night coming through there. To put that in perspective of number of attendees, overall number of people that have come through the park, this year we had just under 126,000 people come through the park. That's an average of 3,228 per night. That compares to last year, which we had 130,000 come through, which is an average of just under 3,000 per night. So when you compare it by the nightly average, we were up over last year, so that was really exciting. And then one interesting fact I wanted to share, if you're aware, we have a Marry Me area out there where there's an opportunity for people to propose to their significant other out there. This year we had 24 proposals out there in the park. I don't have statistics on how many yeses there were with that. Hopefully it was 24 for 24, but we don't keep statistics on yeses and nos. But there were 24 proposals, which I think is really neat to have such a meaningful experience out in our parks, and that many people wanted to do that. So I thought that was really neat. Any questions on Christmas in the Park or any of the other events? Some upcoming events that we have now that we've made it through Christmas in the Park and a lot of the Christmas events. We have our Daddy-Daughter Dance this month on the 25th at the DRC. A new addition we have this year is a sensory-friendly dance to start us off. So we have 4 dances this year instead of 3. So that gives anyone an opportunity that has any concerns with lights, loud music, those sorts of things, gives them an opportunity in a less crowded setting to come out and enjoy a dance and have a good time. So we're excited to give that opportunity to the community this year. And as I mentioned, we'll still have our 3 other dances throughout the day that day as well. That next weekend on the 1st of February is Chocolate Festival. So if you're a person who enjoys chocolate, which I'm assuming everyone for the most part does, you can come out and enjoy some chocolate with us there at the DRC. And then moving on into March, the Kids Trout Fish Out will be the 1st of March, and then Taste of Yukon will be on March 20th. So That'll push us right along into all of our spring events.
I have a quick question on the kids trout fish out.
Yeah, go ahead.
I've seen conflicting information going out online. Is it at Welch or is it at the Robertson Lake?
It's at Welch.
Okay.
So in the last couple of years, we have not used the pond at the DRC. So I'm not sure if that's old information or what, but if you've seen that somewhere, let me know and we can kind of track that down. Occasionally we have news organizations or different that grab old information from different sources and throw it out there. So that's, I'm guessing, where that information may have came from.
Thank you.
Now that we have completed the actual event portion of Christmas in the park, we are in heavy cleanup mode out in the park now. You've probably seen the guys out getting the displays. Just so everyone's aware, that's at least a 2-month process and usually goes into early mid-March through that. So just so everyone's aware, there's a specific process and system to how that equipment comes back in. It's determined by weather. If the weather gets bad, we can't get out in the middle of the park and tear up the park if it's too wet out there. And then there's a system for placing it in storage that we have to follow to make sure we get everything into our building as well. So that's going along really well, and the guys are doing great, working hard on that. And then hopefully mid-March, everything's out of there, and we'll be back to normal operations in the park. Park maintenance, they're also obviously clearing off sidewalks, ice and snow, cleaning up leaves, spraying in the parks, picking up trash, trimming trees, doing all that stuff in preparation for the spring season, in addition to cleaning up all the Christmas displays as well. Moving on down the list here, you should have a program brochure there in your informational pack there. Those are our winter and spring programs for the months of January through May, taking us into the summer season. So take a look at that. That is also available online for anyone that wants to see that on our website, yukonok.gov/fun. And you can check out all of our programs. The one that's online, you can even click on that program and it'll take you right to the registration page to get signed up for that program as well. And I just wanted to touch on a few of those programs and not all of them because there's too many for me to touch on, but wanted to highlight a few of those. Our Spirit League program, which many of you are familiar with, is our program for individuals with physical and intellectual disabilities. Gives them the opportunity to participate in athletic programs and other programs as well. And so in February, we'll have Spirit League bowling. In March, we'll have Spirit League basketball. In April and May, we'll have baseball. And then also in April and May, we have a Get Up and Moving PE class for Spirit League as well. And so all that's in addition to the music and the arts and crafts classes that we've added to the Spirit League programs as well. We also are expanding our esports program. So we'll have an esports club, and then we're going to have 3 esports tournaments this year as well, which you'll see in your brochure there. And that's becoming more and more popular, and something where we purchased some TVs and some gaming systems, and we're going to host that moving forward at Jackie Cooper Gym. We also have several cooking class opportunities. We have Young Chefs, which is a kids version to really learn introductory cooking. We also have Healthy Cooking and Eating, which is for ages 15 plus, and Date Night Cooking if you're looking for a night out with your significant other. It's a fun opportunity to learn how to make a new dish and also get to eat that new dish. Also wanted to talk about our spring break programs coming up in March. We have some new additions there in addition to some of our mainstays with our programs over spring break. So we've added some STEM days, some different projects there, and opportunities for kids to get involved in some fun activities there. We'll continue to have Nerf Wars, dodgeball, archery, and kids camp like we always have over spring break. And then we're also going to be adding in a tennis camp at the courts behind the YCC as well to teach introductory tennis to kids as well. A couple more programs. Babysitting 101 is an opportunity for kids to learn some of the ins and outs of babysitting, how to get the word out there, how to safely babysit, some of the important things that they need to know for that. We also have a Lego Legends class where kids will get to build with Legos, a special project there, and Intro to Chess. So that's just a quick rundown of some of the different programs there. I didn't mention any of our senior programs or a lot of our other programs, so I would encourage everyone to check those out and see what all programs we have to offer in Parks and Recreation.
Can we get a few of these to the enrollment center too, please?
Absolutely. I'll make a note of that.
And I wanted to bring up, not sure if you guys are aware, the field out there at the Spirit League was named after a local citizen, Jay Calvin.
Yes.
He recently lost his battle with his disabilities, and I'd like to submit that it might be changed to the Jay Calvin Memorial Field.
I will make note of that. Yeah, certainly condolences to the family. I know there were many in the community that knew him and were inspired by his story, and certainly was very neat to have that field named after him. So we will take that under consideration. I also wanted to touch on a few programs that some of our partners offer in our park system. This is something I don't mention all that often. But I think it's important for the community to know about these programs as well that take place in our park systems. Yukon Soccer Club is a great club that offers soccer in our community. They offer both recreational and competitive options. The competitive option is with another organization. If anyone's interested in soccer, would encourage them to check out the Yukon Soccer Club. Yukon BMX is another great program where there's BMX opportunities out in Taylor Park. There's a unique track out there. There's not too many opportunities in Oklahoma for that. And from what I always hear, it's one of the nicest tracks in the area. We have adult softball offerings through the Yukon Christian Athletic Association at Hillcrest Park. We also have horseshoe programs and events at City Park with the Yukon Horseshoe Club. And we have the Central Oklahoma RC Club and RC races out at Taylor Park as well. So would encourage everyone, if you're interested in any of those areas, to check out those programs as well. One of the last things I want to enter to relay to you guys is some rental and reservation numbers. I don't think I've shared these with the park board before, but wanted to let you know kind of how our rentals are going at our facilities as well as in Chisholm Trail Park. So within the last 6 months, from July through the end of the year, we've had 87 total rentals of our facilities. So that's 22 at the YCC, 35 at Jackie Cooper Gym, and 30 at the Dale Robertson Center. So you can see the opportunities that are available there for our community to utilize our facilities for whether it's a family reunion, a class reunion, a baby or a wedding shower, a birthday party, all sorts of different opportunities at our facilities that our community is taking advantage of. Also out in Chisholm Trail Park, so this is for the months of July, August, and September because we close our pavilions for Christmas in the park set up at that point in time. So during that time frame, we've had 25 rentals of pavilion just over those couple of months. So I know that's well used by our community, and that's just at Chisholm Trail. So I wanted to share those numbers with you and let you know the impact that we are having there. Last thing I'll mention, I kind of mentioned this a little bit earlier, but if anyone is interested in our programs, our events, where our parks are located, anything about Parks and Recreation, you can go to yukonok.gov/fun and find out all that information there. Back over to you, Joe.
Okay, thanks for that thorough report. A lot going on. It's a busy, busy time of year. You guys do a great job with that. We can move on to item 8, new business. If anyone has any new business they want to bring up. I would just add, you mentioned the signage that was getting updated. It would be nice to see the City Park and the Kimball Park signs at least cleaned up a little bit, maybe power washed. Maybe look at replacing those in the future. So,
You said City and Kimball, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make note of that.
any other new business anybody has?
I just had a comment on Ryan's report. Thank you for that. And a question with regards to some of the metrics. I know y'all do a great job with all the programs and many of the things that y'all are doing, and you put in a lot of hard work. And I know internally you've shared like metrics and numbers with us previously, but I was curious if it was a possibility in the future to make some of those historical numbers more public, to share with the community, to highlight again the great work that y'all are doing and the things that are available, and what they're missing out on or what they're experiencing with others.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I think it's something we could, maybe quarterly or, twice a year or something, put together a document of accomplishments. In previous years, we put together kind of an accomplishment document, which is something I may discuss in the February meeting. But I think that'd be worth, putting together, rental numbers, event numbers, program numbers, and just kind of having a document that gets put on social media or on the website or something like that. I think that's a great idea.
Are we going to be able to continue to track the way we have been?
No, I don't anticipate we will. Well, the city is not renewing the agreement with Placer, which is the organization that we've used for those numbers. However, we'll certainly look for alternative methods to be able to track that. For example, obviously, we'll be able to continue to count cars and those sorts of things. And then I think there's other methods that we can implement. In our facilities, we certainly can and keep track of it that way. It'll just take a little bit more work, but I think it's important that we continue to try to keep good records on attendance.
Nothing else? Okay. Well, we can move on to item 9, open discussion. And we typically go around the room for that. We can start with Stephen.
Thank you, Joe. I just want to thank Ryan and all the staff, and some of the new staff that are getting to hang out with us at an unusual time and place. I want to commend you all for all the hard work you put in over the holidays. I know it's a lot of work getting set up, going into the events, and then obviously ongoing with tearing it down, for at least for the Christmas in the park. But I think it's awesome to be here and hopefully have some of the things that you've shared with us historically be more publicly available. So thank the City Council for making this a thing, and again, just appreciate all the hard work that you and your staff put in. Yeah, great job. Looking forward to all the spring programs and the grass turning green and it getting warmer. So, thank you.
Thank you, Stephen. Tim?
Yeah, first of all, I wanted to say thank you for the opportunity to attend Sounds of the Season. For their first public appearance, I think it went amazing. Like I said, a lot of popular music was played, and our family really enjoyed it, so thank you for that. As always, just impressed by what you guys put out. Looking at the list, I, for one, to an extent, know what you guys just went through. And I commend you for your hard work during the fall, winter, Christmas season, and keep up the good work. And we appreciate all you do for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. Mr. Bauman?
Okay, well, I enjoyed the Sounds of the Seasons. I think you came up with a good replacement for the Philharmonic. Looking at this brochure, I think you guys are going to be pretty busy for the next 3-4 months, but I'm confident you'll do well with it. So, also noted that the Chocolate Festival and the Groundhog Dinner are on the same day this year. So if you're looking for an opportunity to OD on food, this may be your best shot. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Joe. Carrie?
As always, you guys do a fantastic job running the programs, running the department. We don't have to worry about whether or not it's going to go right because we know it is. But I love, my daughter at 3 started Daddy Daughter Dance. So I always love seeing that and watching that go. Of course, now she's 18, so she'll be working it. But I love watching the special events and how they grow every year and they bring the community together. And that's big thank you for that. My mother personally is saying thank you for her. I'm taking her to the Chocolate Festival, so. But I always love participating in the events that you guys put out, as well as watching all the hard work that you guys have at it, and everybody that works at the facilities. You guys just make it amazing to be able to go and participate.
Thank you. I'd like to add just congratulations on 2024. We had a great year. Even with fewer days for Christmas in the park, we averaged more people per day. And I was out there several times, enjoyed it, watching other people enjoy it. And there's so much more to the park department than just those big events, as you can tell by these brochures and everything that goes on in there. So if anybody's watching, I would encourage you to take a look at this, see what's going on in Yukon. There's a lot of activities you can get involved in. Again, congratulations, Ryan and staff, on a great year. I look forward to a great 2025. We will meet here again February 19th, and as of now, we're adjourned.